Okay, we are recording, and I am super excited to have our wealthy goddess of the month, Jamie Tulley, who
Yay.
has, yay, you've been in the program for a year. You've birthed a new business that has gotten you financially free, and you're birthing. You're 1 month away from being a mama to a new goddess. Very exciting. So let I want you to share your story. So go back to how and when you found real estate investor goddesses, and what were your real estate investing goals at the beginning?
Yeah. Well, so I was introduced to real estate investor goddesses through a good friend of mine, Susan Elliott. She, we know her from living up here in Oregon. She's a good friend of my husband's through the whitewater kayaking community. And so she sent me an email last summer of 2019, that says, "Hey, do you want to come to this REI event with me?" And her and I hadn't hung out too much, but I knew her decently well for multiple years. And when I saw REI, from knowing Susan, I thought she meant like the
Store.
recreational store. I had no idea that REI meant real estate investing. So I was like, yeah, sure, that sounds great. And I don't think I even clicked on the link. I didn't really even ask what it was about. I just assumed that whatever she was doing was going to be cool and I'll go along with it. And I think a couple weeks later, I went back to look at the date and whenever, the details of the event. And Monique's page shows up and it's pink and there's like crowns and there's like real estate. And I'm like, what? Is that what I was
You're like, this
talking
isn't the kayaking trip I thought I was going to do.
That's the outdoor adventure event thing I thought we were going to. So I was like, wow, that is really interesting. This is such a surprise. And that's really like Susan is getting into all this stuff. I had no idea. And it just so turned out that we had just bought our first home about a year prior to that and had had a great experience renovating it. And we knew that my husband and I knew that we wanted to get into real estate, but we didn't have any major goals. We were thinking like, oh, maybe we'll get a rental in a couple years. But at the time, I was interested in learning more about real estate, and Susan inviting me to your weekend event is what really got me launched into that whole world of real estate investing and all the opportunities. So that's how I found the goddesses and started to accelerate my goals in real estate investing.
So, so tell us what happened. So you were at this event, like, right? We
Yeah.
did a lot, like an in-person event, September 2019. Why did you join the Wealthy Goddess program? And you joined at the mastermind level. What made you join?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I realized, and I had done the prior 5 or 6 years, I had done some really a startup business that was really challenging and hard, but it was very rewarding and it was with the right people. And I had this sense at that event that, if I'm going to dive into this in this way, in this more just sort of committed and goal oriented way, I want to do it with the right people. And these are the right people. I could just tell the energy, the community that you were creating felt like exactly the way I would want to get into it if I was going to be more serious about it. So to me, it was a no-brainer to surround myself with the right people and the right energy. So that's how I decided to just sign up at that time. I was in a place of transition out of my prior job. I didn't really have a full-time job lined up, so it was a really good timing to fit that into my life.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And so brag about what you've accomplished.
Yeah. Wow. So, I mean, Susan and I have, and now my husband, we really did some exploration on what we wanted to do. We had prior to coming to the Goddess program, out of our primary home here in Oregon, we had started running an Airbnb that was very lucrative and successful. So we knew that this area had a lot of potential for that. So we decided to start playing around with that and looking for different opportunities. But myself, especially, I got really drawn to notes from seeing Paige Panzarello on your panel at the event. there was something about Paige and about what she was doing that was very intriguing to me. So we went forward and took, myself and my husband actually went forward and took her master class and, spent hundreds of hours learning about non-performing notes and decided to launch a business with Susan around that. So we have some side hustles that are involving vacation rentals, and that's been really fun. But I would say
You have how
the
many
bulk,
now? You have like five.
yeah, closing on a duplex in a week that will by next summer be 2 vacation rental units. We have the one in our house, and then we have 2 units that are a JV deal. We don't own the property, but we're JVing with the owner of the property for another 2 units that are launching like right now. So yeah, 5. So the funny side hustle, I guess. But
Not just your side hustle, and then you have the real one, which is the notes.
yeah,
And I need you to brag about what you told me the other day when we had your results call for the year. That
yeah,
like after like you're about to go on maternity leave,
right.
and
So I'm about to go on maternity leave, and after realizing with these 5 Airbnb units that we'll have like fully up and running by next spring, summer, that it's enough income, for me to not have to go get a full-time job, which is exciting, and or really
financial
maybe.
freedom. So
So,
yay!
oh my God, like I'm so lucky to be having a really great pregnancy, because I have been, like, you can see my car with all this stuff. I have been just like cruising around, like setting up these Airbnbs, getting things going, because it's so motivating to have that freedom to be with my child in a couple months. So
Love it. So
yeah.
excited. So excited for you. And then you're creating your notes business and
Yeah. Yep. Yeah,
amazing.
that I think is our bigger long-term vision, is to and bigger scaled vision is to go into non-performing notes and keep the vacation rental thing a little bit smaller and more local to this area that we know so well and love so well. So yeah, the notes we expect, we have a 5-year business plan right now, and we have a lot of goals to grow that pretty aggressively, and that will help my husband get out of his job. So that's the idea there.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yay. So what have you appreciated most about being in the program, the Wealthy Goddess program?
Wow, I would say the biggest value I've got is just the network. Not only the network of the the other women that you're working with in the mastermind and that you're meeting and talking with and just sort of bouncing ideas off of and learning together, but the bigger network of professionals that you, Monique, bring to the table. I mean, first of all, 95% of them are women. So it's really powerful to see that, those role models, and learn from them. But yeah, just that I had no idea. I feel like I know more about real estate investing than my real estate agent does. like,
You very
like,
well might.
yeah, just is incredible, the diversity of talent that you bring to, to the table. And it's not just women who are doing this random thing here; they're doing those things very well. So you're seeing the best of the best and how they're doing it. And so I just think the quality of talent and leadership you bring to the table is amazing. So that's been a
Oh,
huge value and really inspiring for me to figure out what it is I exactly want to do. Yeah.
amazing. But you took action. All right.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Like you came, you showed up, you took action, and you have results. So I love
Yeah.
it.
I'm definitely an action taker for sure. So
Yeah.
that's how I learn. That's how I grow. I take action. Yeah.
Amazing. Um, so so you share a little bit more about your next big like real estate investing goal.
Yeah. I mean, I would say with flow state investing, which is the business that we're launching with Susan and my husband to do non-performing notes, it's really the first time that I'm launching a business more so on my own that has pretty significant goals of making, a good amount of money and having a mission to help people to stay in their home. It's a really unique, the way Paige does non-performing notes is really unique. And we're excited to carry on her mission and the way she does it. And I'm sure we'll find our own little specialties, but I think realistically, this is our path to retirement by the time we're 45. I mean, a couple of my friends are like, oh, you'll definitely be retired by 45.
You were well on your way. Well,
Yeah, and
you're ready to retire yourself now.
yeah, sooner. But I think when I think retired, I'm just like, it's all passive and things are moving and managing themselves in a lot of ways. I mean, I'm a pretty active investor at the moment, but I can see the path that leads to a lot more passive and just the wealth. I come from a really low income family, single mom. We lived with our grandparents for 10 years. And I have never really envisioned the amount of wealth I have either. Through other than through this program. So like I think the bigger goal and vision is like having this path to this wealth that I now feel like I can go after and lead to retirement in 10 years. That doesn't have to be a crazy idea.
No, you were well on your path. And that's great. So what you were saying is you didn't even see this as a possibility for yourself before.
Not really. No. I mean, when you grow up without money, having money feels impossible in a lot of ways. So I've been able to come into some good fortune in the last couple of years, but I think it's pretty modest. And setting these goals higher and higher, the way that we talk about them just normalizes like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, also more for us to go after and have. So that felt really groundbreaking for me in a lot of ways.
That's awesome. I love
Yeah.
it. So, would you recommend the Wealthy Guys program?
Oh, for sure. Anyone who's like, so I've talked to a lot of women obviously about your program, and a lot of them are like, I want to get into this, but I don't know how. Like this shows you, your program shows you how. It gives women confidence and network to figure it out and where's their path and how to take action. There's so much accountability. I mean, I'm still participating in an accountability pod with the women, and I'm out of your program now, but the women who were in your program I was with, we're still talking every day at 6:30 a.m. for me. So I roll out of bed and I'm on the phone for 15 minutes with a group of women. We're all talking about what our goals are and what we're doing every day. So if if you're having a hard time getting to that place of taking action and knowing what your goals are and what to do every day, like this is a program that will get you in that habit and you'll start seeing results, which is great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
love it. I love your
Yeah.
amazing results. I'm so excited for you. Um, yeah, yeah, when I literally was like ear to ear. You told me you don't have to go back to work after your maternity.
Yeah.
It's
And it's a
amazing.
little bit of a surprise to me too, honestly. I didn't totally have that expectation, but just through continuing to like look for the opportunities and knowing what I want to do, I was like, oh wow, like it was a little bit of a surprise. Like, okay, I'm here.
You did it. And the rest is gonna come so quickly too. I love it. All right, so now it's time for our Trinity. So I want to hear from you a brag, a gratitude, and a desire. What's your brag? What are you celebrating?
Oh my gosh, I would say my brag, I'm celebrating like just really rocking my pregnancy. Like I'm 8 months, well, I guess almost 9 months at this point, and just being able, like being so fortunate to have the energy and the health to do this, but really focusing on and going after, like not letting this reality that a child is coming get in the way of my life goals and how that's going to support having a child. So I would say my brag is just like having been super energized and focused throughout my pregnancy to support my motherhood. That's
Mm,
Yeah, I would say that's my brag.
so well bragged.
Yeah. And the next one, which was
Your gratitude.
oh gosh, well, my gratitude is certainly, like, I feel like in a way getting pregnant, and this is my first child, and deciding to have a kid, I'm a little bit older and I could have maybe never had kids. That was always a possibility for us. But now that this is a reality, I'm so grateful for everything it's brought into my life in terms of focus and goals and just vision and creating a whole different life. And, honestly being around other women in your program, which I live in a small town. I don't have that many friends. It's been really energizing with that female energy to like carry me through this pregnancy. And so I'm really grateful for being able to have a kid and having this life that I'm visioning with a family. So that's my
Beautiful.
gratitude.
I love that you were, I think you shared that you saw her coming in for the first time at
Yeah,
my event last
I
year.
did. We did a vision session where you were asking us to like picture, I don't know what it was, 3 to 5 years in the future
Right.
and what did life look like.
Yeah.
And it was like we're stepping up to our own doorway. You're opening
Your
the front door.
ideal future life. Yeah.
Yeah. And I opened the door, like I was looking at myself opening my front door and I was holding a 2 or 3 year old child. And that I was like, oh my God, like I'm in shock. And I was just like so happy and just chilling. And I was like a stay at home mom or something and whatever it was. So yeah, that vision came to me and I had even at that point no idea that I was thinking about having a kid. So that was really powerful.
Amazing. Love it. And last but not least, what's one desire that you have?
Wow. Um, yeah, I think my one desire is really like my husband and I to be like financially free and retired by 45. And I'm actually hoping for sooner than that, to be honest, because that's about 9 years from now. But wow, I have a great, like, this desire for us to have this really epic life with our family that involves travel and adventure and outdoor and family and friends and just, yeah. So that's my big desire.
So shall your desire be, or so much better than you can imagine, under grace and in perfect ways.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. And
Uh,
again, congratulations. I'm so
th-
excited for you.
Thank you, Monique. Yeah, this has been awesome. And I don't know what else to say other than, get involved some way, even if it's just on the Facebook groups, get involved. It'll start inspiring you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Mwah. Thank you, my friend.
All right.
All
See you
right.
soon.
Bye.
Bye.